Mary Pickford. Mary Pickford was one of the first major female movie stars in Hollywood. Many people called her America's sweetheart, but she was more than just a famous actress. She was also a brilliant businesswoman. In the early 1900s, most actors had very little control over their own careers, but Mary believed she deserved better. At only 27 years old, she joined forces with other top stars to create a company called United Artists. This company let her produce and distribute her own films, which gave her the power to decide which stories she wanted to tell and how much money she deserved to earn. Because of Mary's strong will and talent, she negotiated contracts that paid her huge sums of money, more than any other actress at the time. She also helped form the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, which is the group that gives out the famous Oscar awards each year. By demanding respect for her work, Mary showed other actors, especially women, that they could stand up for themselves in an industry mostly led by men. Today, people remember her not just for her sweet, curly-haired looks on screen, but for her courage and smart decisions off-screen. Mary Pickford changed Hollywood by proving that women could control their own careers and build a powerful place in the film world. Jane Fonda. Jane Fonda is a two-time Oscar winner and one of the most respected actresses in Hollywood. Yet her influence goes far beyond acting. Born to a famous father, actor Henry Fonda, Jane decided early on that she wanted to create her own path. She became a star in movies, but she also explored other passions, such as fitness and political activism. Her workout videos in the 1980s inspired millions of people to exercise at home, showing that a Hollywood star could make a difference in everyday life. However, Jane's biggest impact might be in how she uses her fame to speak about important issues. She has always been open about her personal struggles with self-esteem and body image, hoping to help young women avoid those same challenges. Alongside other activists, she co-founded the Women's Media Center to give women stronger voices in news, entertainment, and other forms of media. Jane has also been a strong supporter of peaceful protests and social justice movements, proving that celebrities can use their platforms for positive change. Through her acting, activism, and openness about her own life, Jane Fonda showed that one person could influence Hollywood culture and everyday society at the same time. She changed Hollywood by speaking out, empowering women, and redefining what a successful career can look like. Ida Lupino. Ida Lupino began her career as a successful actress during the 1930s and 1940s. She was talented and popular in front of the camera, but she soon realized she wanted more control over the stories being told. In a time when very few women worked behind the camera, Ida formed her own independent production company. There, she wrote, produced and directed movies that dealt with serious issues such as single motherhood, assault, and the challenges women face in society. Her movie The Hitchhiker, 1953, is especially important because it was the first film noir directed by a woman. Ida stood out in the Hollywood studio system of the 1950s, which was mostly run by men. She was famously tough in business meetings. She called herself a bulldozer because she had to fight hard to get things done her way. But when she was on set, she preferred a gentler approach, asking the cast and crew to call her Mother. This showed that she believed in teamwork and respect, even though she held the top position. Ida Lupino changed Hollywood by breaking boundaries for women behind the camera. She proved that women could create compelling films, handle big responsibilities, and be just as strong and successful as any male director or producer in the industry. Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey is best known for her groundbreaking talk show, which ran for 25 years and became one of the highest-rated TV programs in history. But Oprah's influence goes far beyond television. She built a massive media empire that includes magazines, television networks, and online platforms. Part of Oprah's power comes from her focus on self-improvement and kindness. She showed the world that you can be successful in business while also caring deeply about helping others. One of the most remarkable things about Oprah is her journey from a challenging childhood to becoming one of the world's richest and most influential women. She has given away millions of dollars to support education, including opening the Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy for girls in South Africa. By investing in young women, she hopes to give them the tools they need to become future leaders. Through her many interviews and heartfelt conversations, Oprah encourages people to share their life stories, heal from painful experiences, and become their best selves. In Hollywood, she showed that an African-American woman can be both a beloved star and a powerful business leader. Oprah changed Hollywood and the media landscape by proving that compassion, honesty, and generosity can lead to incredible success for everyone involved. Dorothy Arzner. Dorothy Arzner is not as famous as some Hollywood stars, but her achievements are truly extraordinary. She directed 20 feature films at a time when women rarely got the chance to call the shots behind the camera. In fact, she was the first woman to join the Directors Guild of America, a major honor in the movie business. One of her biggest inventions was the boom microphone, which allowed actors to move freely on set while still capturing their voices. An innovation that changed film recording forever. Dorothy was known for focusing on stories about women and female friendships. She believed it was important to show the real feelings, thoughts, and strengths that women possess. In a 1930 interview, she explained that men could never completely understand a woman's point of view. That is why she felt it was so necessary to have women involved in every part of filmmaking, from acting to directing. Because Dorothy fought to tell stories that mattered to women, she inspired other female directors to keep pushing forward, even when faced with a male-dominated industry. Through her creativity, technical inventions, and focus on women's perspectives, Dorothy Arzner changed Hollywood by opening doors for future generations of female filmmakers. She showed that women have valuable insights and can lead just as well as men. Hattie McDaniel. Hattie McDaniel grew up in a time when black actors faced huge barriers in Hollywood. She was born in Kansas to parents who had been slaves, and she had to fight every step of the way to build her career. In 1940, she became the first African-American actor to win an Oscar for her role in Gone with the Wind. However, the night she won was bittersweet. Because of the unfair rules of the time, she had to sit at a separate table away from her white co-stars. Even though Hattie often played maid roles, over 70 times in her career, she used these roles to show her talent and range. She once said she would rather play a maid on screen than be a maid in real life. Her success showed other black actors that it was possible to win major awards and gain recognition, even in an industry that was not welcoming. Hattie also made history by being the first black woman to sing on the radio in the United States. Through her courage and determination, she paved the way for future black performers who continued to demand better representation in roles. Hattie McDaniel changed Hollywood by breaking a huge racial barrier, proving that African-American artists deserve respect and the chance to shine. Olivia de Havilland. Olivia de Havilland was a British-born actress famous for her roles in classic films like Gone with the Wind. But one of her greatest achievements happened off-screen. In the 1930s and 1940s, Hollywood studios had a lot of control over actors' lives. They would force stars to stay under long contracts that sometimes felt never-ending. Olivia decided this wasn't fair, so she took legal action against Warner Brothers in 1944. She fought for the right to be free from these strict contracts after they ended. This was risky because many actors who spoke out risked losing their careers. But Olivia stayed strong and won her lawsuit. This victory, now called the de Havilland Law, changed the film business forever. It limited how long studios could keep an actor under contract, giving actors more control over their own careers. Because of Olivia's courage, future generations of performers had the freedom to choose their roles and negotiate better pay and treatment. Olivia went on to win 2 Oscars, but her legal victory made an even bigger impact. She showed the world that actors were not just employees, they were artists who deserved respect and fair treatment. By standing up for herself, Olivia de Havilland changed Hollywood's balance of power and gave performers a stronger voice in their professional lives. Kathryn Bigelow. Kathryn Bigelow made history in 2010 when she became the first and so far the only woman to win the Oscar for Best Director. She received this honor for her film The Hurt Locker, a tense story about bomb experts during the Iraq War. Not only did Kathryn win Best Director, but her movie also won Best Picture, which is one of Hollywood's greatest achievements. It was especially noteworthy because war films are often thought to be a man's genre. Kathryn showed that women can excel at any type of story, from big action scenes to small emotional moments. Before her big Oscar win, Kathryn had already proven herself with other action-packed and stylish films like Point Break. She was never afraid to explore dangerous or complex topics, and she did it in a way that grabbed the audience's attention. Because Kathryn won such a major award, she opened doors for other women who dream of directing big-budget films in Hollywood. Her success helped challenge old ideas about what kinds of movies women can make. Though only a few women have been nominated for the Best Director Oscar, her victory remains a shining example that change is possible. Kathryn Bigelow changed Hollywood by inspiring more female filmmakers to tackle ambitious projects and aim for the top awards. Shonda Rhimes. Shonda Rhimes is one of television's most successful and creative minds. She is the writer and producer behind popular shows like Grey's Anatomy, Scandal, and How to Get Away with Murder. These series are all known for their strong, complex female characters from diverse backgrounds, something that was once rare on TV. Thanks to Shonda's work, more people saw characters who looked like them and had stories like theirs. This became so noticeable that people started using the term Shonda Rhimes effect to describe how other shows began featuring more diverse casts after seeing her success. Shonda's characters are not just sidekicks. They are powerful women making big decisions and dealing with real-life problems. She also creates storylines that explore social issues, such as race, gender, and politics, encouraging viewers to talk and think about these topics. Shonda's company, Shondaland, continues to produce shows that break boundaries and give opportunities to people who have been overlooked in the past. By showing major networks that audiences want diverse and exciting stories, Shonda changed the face of television. She proved that it's not only possible to have hit shows led by women of color, but that these shows can be huge successes. Her bravery and storytelling has reshaped Hollywood, making it more inclusive and representative of the world we live in. Lucille Ball. Lucille Ball was best known for making people laugh on her classic sitcom, I Love Lucy. In that show, she played a silly, fun-loving housewife who often got into hilarious trouble. But behind the camera, Lucille was a smart and determined businesswoman. She and her husband, Desi Arnaz, started their own production company called Desilu Productions because TV networks did not believe I Love Lucy would be a hit. They proved everyone wrong when I Love Lucy became one of the most popular shows ever. After Lucille and Desi divorced, Lucille bought his share of Desilu, making her the first woman in history to lead a major television studio. Under her leadership, the studio created more hit shows, including Star Trek and Mission Impossible. Lucille showed that women could handle both the creative and financial sides of the business. Her comedic talent gave her fans around the world. But her bigger impact was how she broke barriers for women in TV production and studio ownership. At a time when men held most of the power in Hollywood, Lucille Ball proved that a woman could run a major company, take huge risks, and create groundbreaking television. She changed Hollywood by opening doors for other female producers, writers, and executives who followed in her footsteps. Alison Bechdel. Alison Bechdel is not a Hollywood star or a famous director, but she changed how many people watch movies. She is the creator of the Bechdel test. This simple test checks whether a movie has at least two female characters who talk to each other about something besides a man. At first, it might sound like a small requirement, but when you apply this test to many popular films, you'll see that a surprising number fail it. Alison introduced the Bechdel test in a comic strip in 1985. Her goal was to show that women are often overlooked or made to seem unimportant in stories. Now, more than 30 years later, fans and critics still use this test to talk about how Hollywood can do better. Even big-budget movies sometimes fail the test, proving that Hollywood has room to grow when it comes to including real and varied female characters. The Bechdel test is easy to understand, so students, movie reviewers, and everyday viewers can all use it. This makes it a powerful tool for pointing out bias and starting conversations about change. Alison Bechdel might not have walked down the red carpet for her invention, but she changed Hollywood by helping us see why women's voices in film really matter. Hedy Lamarr. Hedy Lamarr was once called the most beautiful woman in the world, but she had more than just good looks. She had a brilliant mind for science and invention. During World War II, she teamed up with composer George Antheil to create a new communication system for guiding torpedoes. Their idea was to use changing radio signals, something called spread spectrum technology. This technology was too advanced at the time, but years later it became the basis for Wi-Fi, GPS, and Bluetooth. Despite her bright ideas, people in Hollywood mostly saw Hedy for her appearance. She felt that her beauty often kept people from taking her seriously as an inventor. It wasn't until 1997 that she received an important award for her work from the Electronic Frontier Foundation. By then, her invention had helped shape modern wireless technology, which we use every day in our phones and computers. Hedy Lamarr changed Hollywood and the world by showing that you can be both a glamorous star and a serious thinker. She broke the stereotype that actors could not also be inventors or scientists. Through her work, Hedy gave us a big piece of the tech puzzle that runs the world today, proving that intelligence comes in all forms, even behind a famous face, Sherry Lansing. Sherry Lansing started out as an actress, but soon realized she preferred working behind the camera. She became a script reader, then climbed the ladder to become one of the most powerful executives in Hollywood. In 1980, she made history by becoming the first female president of a major movie studio, 20th Century Fox. Later, she became the first woman to head an entire film production group at Paramount Pictures. During her time at Paramount, Sherry helped make nearly 200 films, including huge hits like Forrest Gump and Titanic. These movies not only made a lot of money, but they also won Oscars and became beloved by audiences around the world. By leading such successful projects, Sherry proved that women could guide major studios and create films that everyone wanted to see. Sherry Lansing showed that women can hold top decision-making roles and still create artistic, popular, and award-winning films. She helped open doors for other women who dreamed of running studios or heading big creative teams. Beyond her work in movies, Sherry also became known for her charity work, especially in education and cancer research. She changed Hollywood by proving that women can be both strong business leaders and compassionate role models, reminding everyone that leadership, vision, and kindness can go hand in hand. Edith Head. Edith Head was one of Hollywood's most famous costume designers. She worked on over 1,000 movies and earned 35 Oscar nominations, winning 8 times, the most of any costume designer in history. But her journey started in a surprising way. When she applied for her first job in 1924, she did not know much about designing costumes. She used some borrowed sketches from friends just to get hired at Paramount Pictures. Once she got the job, she learned quickly and used her creativity to outfit major stars like Bette Davis, Audrey Hepburn, and many others. Edith believed that a movie costume should not just look pretty, it should also tell a story about the character wearing it. She once said that if people remembered the clothes more than the actor, she had done her job poorly. Edith's designs became so popular and recognizable that they influenced everyday fashion. Women across America and around the world tried to copy the dresses and suits they saw in the films she worked on. While most design jobs were run by men in her day, Edith stood out as the first female head designer at a major studio. She changed Hollywood by showing that smart costume design could help shape a movie's success, and that a woman with passion and talent could reach the very top of her field. Ava DuVernay. Ava DuVernay started out in film publicity, but she discovered her true passion when she picked up a camera to direct her first short film. She worked her way up quickly, making powerful, emotional movies that grabbed people's attention. In 2012, she became the first Black woman to win the Best Director prize at the Sundance Film Festival for her film Middle of Nowhere. A few years later, she directed Selma, a movie about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and the voting rights marches. Selma was nominated for Best Picture at the Oscars, making Ava the first Black woman to have a film earn that distinction. In 2016, Disney chose her to direct A Wrinkle in Time, which had a budget of over $100 million. This made her the first Black female director to lead a live-action film of that size. Ava's success opened many doors for other filmmakers, particularly women and people of color, proving that diverse voices can tell big, successful stories. She also founded a company called ARRAY, which supports films made by women and people from many different backgrounds. Ava DuVernay changed Hollywood by showing that strong talent and stories can come from many places. She has created space for a wider range of people and stories, inspiring others to believe that everyone deserves a chance to shine in filmmaking. Frances Marion. Frances Marion was one of the greatest screenwriters in early Hollywood. During the silent era and well into the 1930s, her scripts were in high demand. She actually earned more money than most of her male colleagues. In fact, she was making around $3,000 a week at one point, which in today's money would be more than $40,000 a week. Frances won 2 Academy Awards for her writing, making her one of the first to achieve such a feat. She wrote over 130 produced films, and her stories range from touching dramas to lively comedies. One of her major contributions was helping revive the career of actress Marie Dressler, who Hollywood considered too old to be a star. But Frances saw her comedic talent and wrote films that perfectly showcased Dressler's abilities, proving that women could be funny and successful at any age. Frances also wrote a book called How to Write and Sell Film Stories, which guided other aspiring writers. She was a trailblazer who used her fame and talent to change Hollywood's perception of women in key creative roles. By insisting on strong female characters and scripts that challenged the usual movie tropes, Frances Marion shaped the future of filmmaking. She changed Hollywood by demonstrating the true power of a skilled writer and opening doors for women in the storytelling business.